or something for the Giants fight.
No, oh no, right? You saw that? Seventh letter 4 on Twitter X, same OG on Instagram and Facebook. What's up, my brother?
Glad to have you as always, and you can find me on the Twitter X, NFLOutdated. You can find me on YouTube and the TikTok as well, as we are also inching toward the season. We got a lots to talk about the Bears, exciting Hard Knock stuff, and then obviously your Lions news getting fined. But let's just go right ahead. And did you watch any of that Bears Texans Hall of Fame game?
Man, I know they better not turn our game off tomorrow because it's supposed to be raining up here tomorrow in New Jersey. So I hope they don't cut our game short like they did y'all's. I mean, like nobody played, so it's like,
yeah,
I think like it's hard to gauge it.
Well, you kind of find out a little bit in the Hard Knocks episode 1. We'll talk about a little bit, but it's more of the players that are trying to make a roster or trying to, make a name for themselves. And you get some of their families for like the fourth string quarterback, so it's all of that, it's just kind of like, it's a game. It's glorified practice,
Pretty much.
But it's interesting, I'm obviously glad that starters didn't play because being rainy. We did have one injury that we found out. It was just one of the backup centers. So those things can happen. But whatever it is, I am glad there's football. And with the Bears playing the Texans again in the season, I'm glad that they didn't really show too much. But hey, it is football.
It is football, nonetheless. I was super excited. It feels so good to finally. Well, I'm so excited for the season. I'm so excited and something finally on television. I'm so sick of seeing all this politics and stuff. So it's good to see some football, like have a reason to look at the NFL Network as opposed to all these. I just wish they stopped telling everybody else we good. I don't know. I hate that.
All right. Lions are going to be 9 and no, sorry. Yeah. 9. They're going to be 9 and 8. How about that?
9 and 8.
Wow. Yeah.
Oh, and you supposed to be 10 and 6 or something like that. 11 and
I'm
6?
trying to be the opposite of hype man.
Oh, okay.
How about that?
I don't want to go that low though. But if you give
All
me like 11 and 11 and 5, 11 and 6, I'll take it.
Well, you never know. Yeah, with the division, it could be just a bloodbath.
I truly agree. Our division is much better. I say it every week. It's different. Vikings are a lot better. Y'all guys are good. You got a defense and you got an offense that are probably able to hit the layup now. So that's another good thing. Just ain't got an offensive line. I ain't worried about it. Continue.
Well, someone who always hits the deep three on everything and has chimed in here. Obviously, he is on vacation here, but good old RevTrev chiming in. Vikings going to the Super Bowl, and Craig said he was going to be on. He said he was going to be on, and I got hyped, and I said, okay, well, let's have a show then.
Yeah, man. It's from that time we bit them.
I don't know.
What's up now with the Vikings, man? We got to find a new vibe. Like, I love our Vikings people. What's up?
We do. Yeah. So,
everything. They're going to pop up week 1. Watch. That's what they're going to do.
Well, yeah, and they're going to be gone by week 2.
Pretty much.
You look at that schedule, the Vikings are going to be, we looked at it last week, and they're going to have some tough issues. I mean, it's a tough schedule. And whether it's, Sam Darnold or whoever it is, it's going to be tough. And obviously we will see when things start. But I also want to bring up, do you get into any of the Hall of Fame like ceremonies? You watch any of those ceremonies or speeches or anything like that?
And just, man, it's some beasts one in there this time. For real. Like everybody was like, it was a good one. It was like, it wasn't like a super big star there this time. It was like all just really good, but like Dwight Freeney, you know how he was giving it up back then. Julius Peppers, you got 2 Bears going there. 3 Bears.
3, yes.
3 Bears. You know what I'm saying? That ALS is crazy. With McMichael, but You know, Devin Hester, Julius Peppers, he was a beast. Devin Hester was a beast. You know what I mean? Dwight Freeney was a beast. There's a lot of, like, you know, Jordan was there. Like, come on, man. The GOAT was there. Like, it's a good.
You know, it's always interesting with the inductions. Like, I try to watch a little bit, but it's always, you know, tough to kind of know where to pick it up, like who's speaking and whatever. And there's super long speeches. You obviously get so emotional, but really just to have their bust in there and just to have, you know, part of, you know, history, you know, part of that Hall of Fame. I've been there a couple times. It's just a really cool atmosphere to be there. And now
I can imagine it being. Like, I've been watching them since Barry Sanders went in first ballot. So I watch everyone. Like, I enjoy it because, I mean, I'm to the age now. Like, I remember these people whole career. You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy with even Devin Hester. Like, I remember we're trying to fit him in as a wide receiver, and it just oh gosh, you know, he was game changer. Like you know, in box office. I mean, you watch it, and I remember when going to the Kansas City Chiefs, the draft in Kansas City, and Dante Hall was there signing autographs, and I had my Hester jersey on.
Beast.
He is, and I asked him. I said, you know, I had asked him about Devin Hester, and he said he's the GOAT. I said, all right, there you go, from Dante Hall, the human joystick, right?
Yeah. I remember Devin Hester started off as a cornerback because I remember he was the only one playing in that first Pro Bowl. He was getting cooked. Yeah. And then they put him to that wide receiver, and all he did was go. That's all he did.
He did, but he had issues, I think, with routes and things like that, right? You know, so it just never worked that way for him. But obviously, I mean, I saw several live, just amazing. You know, kick returns
off on the first in the Super Bowl, like that shit was just.
I was hyped. I was living in Minnesota at the time, Craig. In Minnesota, watching it with a bunch of Minnesota Vikings fans, like just cheering, and they were cheering against my Bears.
I actually was going for you because I can't stand Peyton Manning.
Really?
I don't like Peyton Manning. Give me Eli any day.
Wow.
Any day.
Wow.
You know what? You know me. So you know why I would like it.
Yeah.
Because when it counts, pound for pound in the playoffs, you gotta respect Eli for that Saints and that San Francisco game. The first time he went to the Super Bowl with Eli.
Yeah.
The way the hits he took and how he still stood in there, like I always say, they like, you know, he's retarded, but he's a good kind of retarded. You know what I mean? That retarded that don't feel pain. Like Eli, man, in clutch. Top five.
Tell you what, I mean, if the Bears had any other quarterback than Sexy Rex Grossman,
without a doubt,
he would not have had his first Super Bowl. Like it would have been that, you know, and that would have been. You look at that, like if the Bears had won that, I mean, it might have been Thomas Jones, but it, you know, could have been Devin Hester, like setting the tone.
And they cheated to get, like, Peyton Manning ain't the reason why they won that Super Bowl. They ran the ball 40 times. You know what I'm saying?
They did, and it was rainy. That was crazy being so rainy.
I hated that. I hated that. The Bears were. I mean, you know, I didn't want to see them get to the Super Bowl, but I just don't like Peyton Manning. I don't like him. I don't like regular season quarterbacks for some reason.
Yeah. Well, someone who's definitely not a regular season quarterback again, Trevor. Craig said the Vikings will be 10-7. The only close game will be Week 1 at the Giants. This time, everyone's you know, drinking the Kool-Aid. I mean, Craig's gonna learn.
Craig got to come up here and talk for himself. I talk to Craig every day on the chat.
every single day. Well, shout out to him and his Daily Norseman article. He's definitely trying to cook my Bears and cook them as one of the most annoying fan bases. But hey,
no. The most annoying fan base is the Vikings by far. And I mean, we talking about we in the division with the Packers. You know what I'm saying? Them arrogant assholes. You know, except for you, RevTrevNFL. You know what I'm saying? The Vikings in 2022, they surmounted any Viking, any Packer hate that I ever had in my life. I do not like the Vikings. Do not.
You know, and here's the thing about like any type of trash talk, right? You know, it always goes back to championships. It always goes back to, you know, what have you done? And
that's what the Packers do to us.
They always, and so for the Vikings to kind of try to talk trash, I mean, it's a little bit cute, right?
Come on, bro. Knock it off. Knock it off.
Although Vikings Twitter is very entertaining, when they have expectations, it's very entertaining. Now this year, I don't think they should have expectations, but it could be an interesting season.
What's my man name for the Texans? He gave a lot of people false hope. He's gonna make people put a lot of pressure on their quarterbacks to perform at that level out the gate, and you gotta understand a lot of things were in place for him. He had a left tackle. He had an offense similar to the one he ran in school. Like it's just it was just a perfect marriage of a young creative offensive coordinator with a young quarterback. He didn't put too much on his plate. It's just CJ Stroud performed well in that comfortable environment, and he got it. They gave him more weapons this year. So he'll probably still be good. But remember, RG3 won Rookie of the Year too. So don't forget that.
Well, RG3 was a different type of quarterback, right? And he ran too much,
Yeah, and he got like a freak accident, got him out of it too. Like,
yes.
I think he got caught jumping, and Haloti Nada hit him right in the leg, like, and then the bum Kirk Cousins came in after him. Go ahead.
So here we'll talk about Vikings here in a second. Again, I love piling on, but here another good Packer fan, Miles. Saying not all Packers fans are bad. Correct. We're not saying they're bad, right? Well, maybe some of them are. Arrogant, yes. And entitled.
Like you, Miles. Yes, Miles, spoiled. You are arrogant. Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Spoiled. They're so spoiled.
You come up here with your sunglasses on, with all type of lights and shit popping off behind you. Like,
hey, didn't I meet you with sunglasses?
Yeah, man, but that's because I was hot in the pain. Different.
Okay. But now it's a brand new seventh letter, ready to embrace a Super Bowl, maybe. But speaking of not Super Bowl not happening this year, the Vikings, I have a question. And could the Vikings, the Minnesota Vikings, in 2024 go 0-17?
Jeez, no. No. I don't see that. They have one of the best players on the planet. They got a good, they got enough on offense, and their coach is pretty. He won with the astronaut. You know what I'm saying? He won with the astronaut and played good with fake Favre. Like, he played. That's a good coach. It's a good coach. It's a good, stable environment there in Minnesota. Nonetheless, I mean, for all the, they got the pieces in place. They got a better team than they did last year. So
maybe, yeah,
especially defensively.
Packers. Here we go. Oh, Vikings. I don't know.
Giants, San Fran, Houston, Green Bay, Jets, Detroit.
Craig thinks they're going to beat the Jets. They're not beating the Jets. Come on.
It depends on, I got to see what Aaron Rodgers look like.
Hey,
I got to see what he looks like.
Garrett Wilson. That's all you need to say.
Garrett Wilson is a bad man. He's one of them. If him and Scary Terry get them a quarterback, they gonna be the best out.
I'm really I'm curious, especially as the season gets going, how many games the Minnesota Vikings will be favored in.
It's not looking good.
It is not. Absolutely not.
They might show. I mean, by week. No, they don't play y'all until week 12. So pretty much we're gonna know who's who by then.
Then, absolutely, yeah. And watching Hard Knocks, you look at Caleb Williams. He may have some rookie struggles, right? But by then, he you get some of the veterans are going to prop him up as far as receivers and making plays happen. The defense making things happen. So. I am really curious, and I may have to do a Twitter poll about this, as we get going. Could the Minnesota Vikings go 0-17? You say no. I say there's a chance. There's absolutely a chance.
I don't think so, man. I think they're a little bit too stable. The coaching staff is a little too stable for that. I can easily see them going 9-8. I can see from 5 to 9 wins.
I'd say how about from 0 to 9 wins, right?
Nah, they got at least 5 in them.
We need a Vikings fan to come on here and say something. I mean, Justin Jefferson.
This is true. Yeah, fuck it. 0-17 for sure until a Viking pop up. You're right.
There you go.
I mean, I am having so much respect for people that's ducking and hiding.
Exactly.
On the couch, sleeping, dog balls, all that. You know what I mean?
All of that. Said they're going to come and then do not. Once again, obviously, we have the Bears and just dominating news this so far. And in Hard Knocks, you have not had a chance to watch Hard Knocks yet, right?
I watched, like I said, I watched it in passing. Like I was looking at, doing my homework and kind of looking at the TV a little bit. I mean, hopefully like Caleb Williams can kind of like repair the image everyone else has of him. Like that's what I saw. Like he's not as bad as everybody kind of made him seem, but he also hasn't lost a game yet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we'll see. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, how he responds to that.
Absolutely. So there's a couple of reactions, and obviously, anybody who hasn't watched it yet, go ahead and watch it. It's especially if you're a Bears fan. I think you're gonna love this. Being a Bulls fan, right?
Mm-hmm.
I get goosebumps thinking of the opening song for the Bulls in the 90s.
Yeah.
Yes. So they have the Bulls announcer doing, and now starting at quarterback for your Chicago Bulls. And then they got the song, Caleb Williams. It is like goosebumps. It's like, yes, I love this. Bring me more. So they did it right. They absolutely did it right. Episode 1. And then we're talking about another takeaway. My guy, Matty Eberflus, everybody loves him as a coach now. He's got the new swag. He's got the new beard. He's also got a mad big house. Oh, man. Like he is right on the lake. He's hosting a team party. I'm jealous of the Flus.
Really? He won't be there next year.
He might be. He might be.
He won't.
Especially when the Bears get the playoffs. He might be.
He won't.
So, it breaks down, and I didn't realize this, and maybe you didn't either. His coach in college was good old Nick Saban at Toledo.
Really?
So he brings Nick Saban back, and they talk about quarterbacks and expectations. That's another really important point to actually hear Nick Saban kind of break things down. That's really a cool part of the episode. I mean, anytime you hear Nick Saban talk football, I mean, it's ridiculous just to kind of get just hear the insight there. So that's cool. With that, they've got. I will say this one negative about Caleb. You find out that he doesn't have a very good singing voice, so it's bad. Okay. It's bad. But there's another. Got to take a look at this. Another backup player that has a pretty good rendition of an American song, and so anybody that hasn't seen it, it's one of the highlights of the episode. That's just funny as heck. So got to watch that. They do a little bit about the Hall of Fame game, but it's definitely worth a watch, even if you're not a Bears fan. So
all the Hard Knocks, I watched all the Hard Knocks. I watched the Hard Knock off season with the Giants. Mm-hmm. What was interesting. I don't like that GM.
No, definitely.
I don't like him. I watched the one during the end season Hard Knocks. Hard Knocks is. Mm-hmm. Been one of my favorite shows since it came out, since the Ravens, the first one. So like I really that's one of my favorite shows. I DVR it every year.
Yeah,
every year. It's a good show.
It's
show.
Smart.
I didn't really like ours because it was a little bit. I was a little bit too vested. Like it's a lot of players on the team that we cut. It was hard to watch. It was hard to watch.
So we're building toward the 100th episode, and we may take a week off and just kind of go focus on a specific 100 episode. And I think I'm going to ask our friend of the program, who's been on a few times, Bob Angelo, the creator of Hard Knocks, and
I bought his book.
Yeah, fantastic book, and definitely check that out if you can. But all his insights from being a camera person, being the creator of Hard Knocks, and from the first one in Baltimore Ravens, I'm really interested to see his take on how they're doing it now. Just because of the production value, obviously they've learned, from what they've done over the years, and it's just really amazing, kind of how it's progressed. But it is really one of the best shows. I mean, we talk about product wise, we love the NFL. We talk all off season. Can't get enough about it. Like I'm in 100 fantasy football leagues and all that. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's the best. It's the best league in the world right now to me. I'm lost without football, man. Lost without it.
Well, speaking with the we talked about Devin Hester Hall of Fame game, and obviously in the Hall of Fame game they had one of the new rules with the kickoff rule. Did you get a chance to see that and the kind of what they're trying to do with that?
I like it. Given it's not the same as before, but I do think like if you got somebody with some speed back there, one cut is a wrap.
Yeah.
So I could see like someone getting creative with it and a lot of like bring some excitement back to it, because it was really just like a, basically just, let's start at the 25, It's a couple of new things that I don't like. I know they're trying to protect the players and everything, but when when they put the kick, where it was just a touchback every kickoff, like, it just kind of took a lot of the, fun out of the, because have you ever seen the kickoff from the stadium? It's like, yo, this is crazy.
Oh yeah. You get so excited. Like, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, we talk. Devin Hester just went into the Hall of Fame. Devin Hester turning the kick at the first play of the Super Bowl. Like that was, you know what I'm saying? Like you take away a whole job.
You take away that, and the Bears were average at best that season.
For sure.
So I think it's interesting because I have, maybe many of the viewers have seen it. You see one in the NFL and you see one in college, and college is a little bit, different. I mean, as far as I feel like there seem to be more run backs there, and just like the excitement it can, happen,
It's like one of the biggest factors in football, and then it's field position. Like, can't mess with that. I never like that. I understand they don't want to pay the players after they give them CTE and everything after their career is over. I understand, but it did take a big part away from the game that really is like one of the most exciting pieces of it,
Yeah, absolutely. So it'll be interesting to see kind of, they were going through all of the penalties and trying to, offsides and just different, people leaving early. So it's going to be interesting to see how that evolves this preseason, then into season. So I hopefully it doesn't really affect the outcome of the game yet. If they're still trying to get like penalties on that, I don't know how it's going to all shake out.
I think the biggest thing that's gonna really make our game, like mess up the game, is they're taking away what's that tackle called when you grab from the waist, a hip tackle or a waist tackle?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
That is gonna be bigger than we could ever imagine. Ever imagine.
So I can't imagine. These athletes, they're faster, stronger than ever. Like I can't imagine in that split moment having to be like, okay, well, I have to
let him go.
Yes. Yeah. Like it's not in your nature. I mean,
what's a penalty? Like, that's the game.
I think they're probably going to do it anyway. Cause this happens like a holding on the offensive line. Like everybody's trying to get an advantage, and it's just like, okay, well, am I going to get caught?
How are you going to tackle Dak Prescott? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Like how you going to do that? Like, how you going to bring down, you know what I'm saying, a big ass Dylan? You know what I'm saying? How?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How you gonna tackle, Henry? Like it's It's crazy. Like the games are going to be more higher scoring. It's going to be longer runs. It's going to be. I don't know, man. It's that part is going to be probably one of the biggest changes to the game. That's going to affect a lot of high scoring, a lot of broken tackles this year, and it's going to irritate me. It's going to irritate me all year. I can see it. I saw when they changed the rule. I said, "Oh boy."
That's an interesting point that maybe I haven't thought about for fantasy football, right? You know, some of these running backs, the bigger running backs, maybe even bigger wide receivers, they're going to be tougher to tackle, even tight ends.
Debo, all them, like, what are you going to do? Like, how are you going to stop these people? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They big as 230, running at full speed.
Yeah. That's a great point. Yeah. So we did have a chance. There was a Giants Lions joint practice fine. So what happened and what's your reaction to that? Because usually I've heard that the NFL doesn't announce fines, but evidently they did now. I think there were multiple fights.
10.
I mean, they're okay. Yeah.
Listen, man, the Giants were like, they kept picking with us, man, and we just reacted to it every single time. You know, I don't think that they made the players abreast of the fine, but kept bothering us, and we kept on. Like, so hopefully they got all this shit out their system so we don't get any stupid penalties during an actual game. Like, I think, like, honestly, they're young kids. It's football is, you know, controlled aggression per se, you know what I mean? Like, so hopefully they got it all out their system and this doesn't happen during the regular season. But, you know, I urge my young boys, man, this ain't a tough guy contest. You guys are paid a lot of money to entertain, and, you know, but the Giants kept on doing shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Neighbors smacking, you know what I mean? Kirby on the helmet, you know what I'm saying? And then Kirby beat him the fuck up. You know what I mean? Like, but he beat him up, but don't, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't got to fall for it, man. Don't knock yourself out of position trying to, you know, play a tough guy. It's all right, man.
Especially when you're in position to be a championship team. You don't want those really good things.
You punch a helmet and break your hand, you're out 6 weeks. You know what I'm saying? You need those hands to tackle.
Yeah.
Or catch an interception. Like, that don't hurt yourself trying to, you know what I mean, be tough. Hopefully we it like Dayball ran on the field one time. Like, what's going on? The Giants just, I don't know. I guess they taught, like, don't act like the Cowboys ain't beat the shit out of y'all twice last year, and you wasn't tough then. Like, all right, man, I can see you trying to change the mentality of the team, but, you know, the defensive coordinator came from the Titans, so the defense is going to be doing a lot of stuff. Amon-Ra got in a fight, like, we got to chill out, man. They was just egging us on, and we fell.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully my boys don't fall for that during the season. We can't lose because we trying to be tougher than everybody. Let's just beat them on the field, you know?
You know, speaking of that, you know, what I was kind of just thinking, you know, obviously you play fantasy football, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you talk about fantasy football. You look at some of the old time games and stuff like that and teams, and you look back and I think, you know, there's a site, I can't think of it right now, that does kind of retroactive, like what yards and catch, like what some of these old time players fantasy wise, their points, what they would have had back in the day, right? You know, if there was fantasy, like how that would have stacked up. What I mean, that's interesting in itself, right? What I'm my point, what I'm kind of interested to see, like if anybody would actually do this, like go back and use the just rules of today. With all of the past, you know, games, like when Dick Butkus and these players were playing, and see how many fines they would get for the things that they were doing.
Jesus, the whole Raiders wouldn't have won the Super Bowl.
No, like so many things would have been changed, right? Just by the fines.
The Vikings probably would have got one. You know what I'm saying?
No, they still wouldn't have got one.
Well, they went. Didn't they go like 3 times too? Like, you know what I'm saying? Or
they
twice,
did, but they wouldn't have won it.
And, like, you know, like
purple people eaters. Yeah,
they might have went. You know, the Lions would have got one. All the times they cheated us.
Did the Lions go to the Super Bowl? I don't think they did.
No, if they were drug testing players like they should have, we wouldn't have lost to the Redskins. You know what I'm saying?
They're still holding that.
Off that cocaine. That crack, actually. The Giants wouldn't have won. Lawrence Taylor would have, tested positive for crack.
He would have. Yeah. I think that helped him. But hey,
who knows, man?
But yeah, so all these things you kind of retroactive, like, might have like changed the outcome of games, or just I'm curious to see like, how much money like would have been accumulated. I mean, just from like one of Dick Buckets' games, just like it's just crazy looking back at some of the old tape and just how different of a game it was.
You ain't even got to go that far back. Some of Ray Lewis's games, you know what I'm
saying? Yeah. Yeah.
Some of Ray Lewis's games, man. You can't. He used to lay people out. You know what I mean? Ronnie Lott. You know what I'm saying? Steve Atwater. You know what I'm saying? Like some of those guys. Couple. You ain't even got to really go that far back. I miss those games. I miss those games a lot.
Absolutely,
I miss those games a lot.
Well, obviously we're kind of inching toward the season. You're looking at the Lions preseason game. Are you gonna watch it?
What?
You're not gonna watch the Lions? You're obviously gonna watch it, right?
What? Bro, I can't even sleep. I couldn't wait. I've been waiting since last Thursday. Like, next week this time, my game gonna be on. I can't wait. And it's a preseason game, and none of my players are playing. I get to see Hendon Hooker. I get to see some of my rookies. I get to see, like some of the my rookies play. I get to see, Arnold. I get to see some of my guys. So I get to see that blue. I get to see our new uniforms. I'm excited. I can't wait.
Speaking of New York uniforms too, we haven't talked much Packers, but what are your thoughts on they have like a whiteout helmet? I mean, I think the Vikings tried to do that.
Is that for Brazil?
I think it might be. I don't know.
I don't know. It looks cool. Like I like that. Like the Vikings got one too. Like I like the all white. Like when we were all white, I like it. Yeah. I like it. It's hot. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. They ain't gonna make them better.
No. I'm just with the Bears. I love the classic C. I love the classic. I don't like when they try to do something too different. I kind of like the one. I mean, that it looks like an old Michigan helmet. The Bears tried.
Yeah. We probably all our teams. We got like some of the older franchises in the league, so we got history behind most of our teams. You know what I'm saying? So it's our throwbacks are always mean to me. I remember when they first came out with them, 1994. You know what I mean? Like, what color is that jersey? When we had that all blue and with the gray helmet with nothing on it. Like,
yes. I remember seeing Barry Sanders in some of those. I mean, that's
yeah. We beat the Cowboys in that on Monday Night Football, man. How could you forget? That was my Super Bowl until that was my Super Bowl right there. We beat them on Monday Night Football because that's when everybody used to tell me Emmitt Smith was better than Barry. And my boy went out there and had 195 on him.
And he held back, didn't he?
Huh?
He held back a little bit too, didn't he?
Man, they ran him 40 times. No, they did. They gave my man that pill 40 times. They couldn't do nothing with him. Nothing with him. Herman Moore catching things over. They had Deion then. You know what I mean? Like, we beat a real good team now. That's the best game Scott Mitchell ever played in his life.
Scott Mitchell.
Bomb.
Yep.
Bomb. Complete utter bomb.
Yeah.
I will never forgive him. We went 11-5, and that bum went out there and threw 6 interceptions against the Eagles in a playoff game.
What about was he John Kitna better than him, wasn't he?
John Kitna was a bridge quarterback. Let's put it like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, as
we had a lot of bridge quarterbacks. We both had a lot of bridge quarterbacks.
I've had bridge quarterbacks until Stafford. Like,
yeah,
bro, we had I remember playing Tecmo Bowl and we had Rodney Peete. The next one we had Andre Ware. Then it was Eric Kramer and David Craig. Then we went out there and then Scott Mitchell came back. Then after Scott Mitchell, it was Charlie Batch and
Charlie Batch.
Bro, I can name them. McMahon, Harrington. Then one year, we had like 5 quarterbacks play. Culpepper.
You had Culpepper.
What's the Spanish one from Garcia?
Oh, that's right.
Oh my God, man!
You brought up Rodney Peete. I'm always reminded of Rodney Peete. It always seemed like his head was too big for his helmet.
Yeah. Didn't he go to USC too?
Oh, I think he did. He did. Yeah.
Yeah, Rodney Peete, he was a good Eagle, not a good Lion.
No. Joey Harrington had so much promise for you. So much promise.
I think he was just on that NCAA football game cover. He was a bum.
He was. He
probably should have sat behind someone first. You know what I mean? They put him right in there. We weren't good enough. We didn't have a good enough offensive line.
Yeah.
We didn't have much for him to work with. I give him that. I actually saw Joey Harrington play one of his best games against the Giants in Giants Stadium, and we won.
Okay.
Yeah. I remember that game. You know, that was a good game. We had Kevin Jones and Roy Williams. Yeah, we beat the shit out the Giants that game. Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
Well, tell you what, talking about quarterbacks, obviously the Bears, we've had, and everyone piled on. Yes, we've had broken bridges, from broken bridge.
You and me both, brother.
But hey, this Caleb Williams stuff, like the behind the scenes stuff on Hard Knocks, just to hear Eberflus kind of talking, with him and just even hearing the players on the side, just, how asking how he's made some of these throws. And so he's going to make some rookie mistakes. So I'm not going to get frustrated. And you know me, I was a Fields guy, right?
What?
I'm still a Fields guy. I hope he does really well in Pittsburgh. I'm excited for his opportunity. I've started this week, being, the starting quarterback in the preseason game. I think he's going to prove a lot, and continue to do so. But he did make a lot of fumbles and a lot of mistakes, and that, usually a rookie makes, right? And so I think Caleb may make, some mistakes. So I'm tempering my expectations on his play overall. But he really doesn't have to be that superstar right away. Just with all of the talent that's there, the weapons. DJ Moore got paid. You see that and how that's going to free him up. And it's kind of a cool seeing how they during practice, they bring him in with Drew Rosenhaus, his agent, and they're talking through that extension. And so that's kind of a cool a part of the episode, but and just how Keenan Allen talking about how he gets open his routes and stuff like that. It's just, I'm excited to see what this offense is going to look like. There's a lot of promise. What
do you rank Keenan Allen now?
Just behind DJ Moore. He's 11.
I'm about to say, boy, remember, you got history, man. You got history, man.
We got. Well, speaking of history, and we can maybe even go over on the 100th episode with a lot of things to talk about too. But the rankings of 100 players, and Jalen Johnson did not make it. I don't believe DJ Moore made it either. Like Jalen Johnson being pretty pissed off that he didn't make it, right?
Well, hopefully he shows us and he'll make it next year.
So that's the thing. I kind of like that it didn't make it because he got paid. Good for him. He should have got paid.
Did Montez Sweat make it?
He did. Yes.
He did.
Yes.
Yeah,
I think it was Montez and Keenan were the only ones that made it, I believe.
Yeah.
So,
Keenan
but when these players that have that chip on their shoulder, like he, said he didn't like that. Aaron Rodgers was on the list and he didn't play last year. So,
whatever, man. I don't have nothing. My mama told me if I don't have nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. I do not like that dude, yo.
I know. I wouldn't mind seeing the Jets do well, but yeah, I mean, Aaron Rodgers, he can definitely,
eat a fat one.
Yeah, he can kick rocks. Yeah,
whatever. I don't like him. He's gone. He's not our problem anymore. We're good. We got another problem. Number 10.
The Bears.
Yeah, y'all gonna be good. Y'all gonna be good.
All right.
Y'all gonna be good. I'm hoping for the worst, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm praying for the worst, but I kind of know like it is what it is. Like it's not going to be easy to get back to where we were last year. It's going to be a much steeper climb this year. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like the games that fell into our laps. And I like the way we performed against the 49ers, but our youth came back to bite us. But like pretty much, I wouldn't say easy games, but very winnable games that we got in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? The Bucks weren't all that. And Rams were good, but I didn't think they could beat us. So
it is going to be an interesting start. Rams, week 1, right? And Tampa
it'll be
Bay.
nice to Stafford this time.
It'll be nice as long as you beat him, right?
Yeah. You know, we boo his wife though. He need to boo his wife. Boo her again.
Tell you, when you think of Dan Campbell, he's going to have the team ready for these games. I think week 6 is going to be. I think the Lions blow out the Cowboys in week 6. I just with what happened. So
I hope we do. I hope they're going to
get on a run here.
No, I think like the season looks. Listen, I'm a Lions fan, bro.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like. Bro, every week is gonna be algebra for me, man. Like every week. It doesn't really matter who we play. Like it's always gonna be like something.
How about this with the Lions? Interesting. Weeks 15 through 18, all road games.
Word.
Wow. Yeah, that's an interesting.
Buffalo, Chicago, San Francisco, Minnesota.
Oh, maybe I messed that up. I got to check week 7 and week 10. Maybe you finish at home with the Vikings. I think I might have had issues with that one. But tell you what, I mean, I'm ready for football to get going. I know you are. And we had a little bit of talk. Hope we're inching toward that 100th episode, and we're going to try to make it big. Probably won't be next week. We want Trev back in a couple weeks, so I'm excited. I'm stoked. Some last thoughts on the Lions. Obviously, you're excited. Where can everyone find you as we close out here?
Last thought on the Lions: nobody get hurt. Jesus, please don't let anybody else get hurt. We done lost Emmanuel Mosley again. Hopefully he can get back by maybe week 14, 15, but again, hurt again. I feel so bad for him. So y'all stay safe. Don't hurt yourself. Let him run, whatever. You can find me 7th letter 4 on X Twitter, same OG on Facebook and Instagram, and on top of the NFC North, Lord willing.
Yeah. Hey, still are right now. Still are. You're the reigning champ. And you can find me on NFL Outdated on Twitter, X. Season starts going. I got to throw some more, shade out there. I've been kind of taking a little bit of a break recently, but I'm going to get going. And I'm going to get going. Throwing some, new names for Lambeau Field. Just going to float my first one out there. Maybe Caleb's crib. So we're going to be workshopping some names here. It's more fun when a Packer fan is on here as well.
Sure.
I think you got to get your pizza, right? You got to get your pizza.
My pizza is probably black as all hell. Hold up, I'm gonna go get it.
Go get it. You to show us the pizza. But hey, when we talk about NFL football, strap in. It's going to be a great 2024, especially in the NFC North. We're going to have a lot of storylines. Hopefully we will have the season, many Vikings fans coming in. And we're going to have some, obviously the Packers will be as well. And, hey, my Bears, we're going to have a good season. We're going to have a good season. I don't care who tells me about our quarterback history. Now is present. Caleb Williams is the present. And we got a team. And we're going to find out. So once again, this has been the NFC North podcast, Freezin 4. Thanks, everyone. And hopefully his pizza is fine. We'll catch all of you later for our 100th episode coming up. And we're going to do a lot of promos for that. Have a great night, everybody.